It's the energy you allow into your life. Some people silently drain your mental, emotional, and even physical energy without you realizing it. In this video, we'll uncover 3 types of people who quietly sap your strength and show you why letting them go is essential for peace, growth, and happiness. Life is short and energy is precious. Not everyone around you deserves your time, your thoughts, or your emotional investment. Some relationships lift you, inspire you, and help you grow. Others do the opposite. They drain you, distract you, and even hold you back. Cutting out the wrong people is not about being selfish. It's about creating space for growth, clarity, and meaningful connections. Today, we'll explore the 3 types of people you should seriously consider letting go of so your life can thrive. Every life has its challenges, but some people choose to live as if every moment is a struggle. The constant complainer complains about everything, the weather, work, relationships, or even their own decisions. At first, it might seem harmless. You listen, empathize, and try to help. But over time, the energy required to engage with their negativity becomes heavy, exhausting, and sometimes even toxic. Constant exposure to this mindset subtly shifts your own energy and perspective. The problem with the constant complainer is not just the words they say, but the vibration they carry. Energy is contagious. Even if you are optimistic and hopeful, being around someone who always focuses on the negative can erode your enthusiasm, distract your focus, and quietly plant seeds of doubt in your mind. You begin to question your own street. You begin to question your own decisions, feel heavier than you did before, and notice your own mindset slipping into pessimism. These people rarely take responsibility for their actions. Their world is always against them, and no matter how much you offer advice, support, or solutions, the cycle continues. You notice a pattern. You give, they drain, and you leave feeling tired. The danger is that your emotional energy, which could have been used to create, build, or nurture, is slowly consumed by their constant dissatisfaction. The key to recognizing a constant complainer is awareness. Pay attention to how you feel after interacting with them. If conversations leave you feeling frustrated, anxious, or depleted, it's a clear sign that their energy is misaligned with yours. These people may not have malicious intent, but their habits of negativity take a toll on your mental clarity, emotional peace, and productivity. Letting go of constant complainers is not about abandoning empathy. It's about protecting your mental and emotional resources. You can maintain compassion from a distance, offer help when appropriate. But ultimately, you must choose peace over draining energy. Over time, this decision will free up space for people who inspire, uplift, and encourage growth. Another thing to notice is the subtle effect on your own internal dialogue. When someone consistently complains, your own mind starts to mirror that pattern. You may begin overthinking, doubting, or catastrophizing events in your life. The longer you allow this influence, the more your mindset shifts from solution-oriented to problem-oriented, making it harder to stay productive and positive. A practical way to deal with a constant complainer is to set boundaries, limit exposure, keep interactions short, and don't feel obliged to solve their problems. Protect your energy fiercely. The moment you recognize that their negativity is more harmful than helpful, it's a signal that your peace and growth take precedence. By consciously reducing their influence, you create mental and emotional space for constructive thoughts by positive energy and meaningful relationships. In essence, the constant complainer drains life because they anchor you in negativity. They make every interaction heavy, every conversation heavy, every conversation a struggle, and every day a little more tiring. Cutting them out, or at least creating strong boundaries, is not about being harsh. It's about reclaiming your energy, protecting your clarity, and prioritizing your growth. Once this space is created, your life feels lighter, your mind sharper, and your focus clearer, making it easier to pursue your goals, nurture your relationships, and experience joy without unnecessary weight dragging you down. Some people do more than complain. They thrive on chaos, conflict, and drama. Their presence in your life creates tension, unpredictability, and emotional turbulence. These are the energy vampires. Individuals who seem to feed off stress, arguments, and emotional reactions. Being around them is like carrying an invisible weight. You may not notice it at first, but over time, it drains your vitality, your clarity, and your sense of peace. Energy vampires often manipulate situations to create tension. They may exaggerate problems, provoke arguments, or dramatize events that are minor. Their world is never calm. Even joyful events can become a stage for conflict. At first, it can seem like they are just passionate or emotional, but the underlying pattern is consistent. They draw energy from others. Every conversation, every interaction requires careful navigation to avoid triggering their drama, leaving you mentally and emotionally exhausted. One reason energy vampires are so draining is that their energy energy is contagious. Humans are wired to resonate with the emotional states of those around them. When someone around you constantly oscillates between panic, anger, or despair, your own nervous system begins to mirror their stress. Even if you initially feel calm, repeated exposure to their emotional turbulence can leave you agitated, anxious, and reactive. Your productivity drops, your focus blurs, and your sense of inner peace begins to erode. Another aspect of energy vampires is their lack of accountability. Then they rarely take responsibility for their actions or the chaos they create. Instead, blame is projected onto others, and you may find yourself being drawn into their drama. Unintentionally, the more you engage, the more your energy is consumed. Over time, the emotional labor required to manage or tolerate their behavior outweighs any benefit, or more requires any benefit of maintaining the relationship. You start to feel that being around them is a constant negotiation, an endless effort to preserve calm while they feed on tension. Energy vampires also distract you from your own goals and priorities. Your focus becomes consumed by their problems, conflicts, and emotional states. You may postpone important tasks, feel guilty for not helping, or carry their stress into your personal and professional life. The result is stagnation and exhaustion. They do not intentionally harm you, but the habitual drama diverts energy that could be invested in growth, creativity, or meaningful relationships. The first step in dealing with an energy vampire is awareness. Notice how you feel during and after interactions. Do you feel energized or depleted, calm or anxious, productive or distracted? if interactions leave you consistently drained, it is a sign that the person's energy is incompatible with yours. Awareness allows you to recognize patterns and make conscious decisions about boundaries and engagement. Boundaries are essential when dealing with energy vampires. This may involve limiting time spent together, refusing to engage in unnecessary arguments, or maintaining emotional neutrality during interactions. You cannot control their behavior, but 2, you can control how much of it you allow into your life. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is a prerequisite for your well-being, clarity, and capacity to thrive. Letting go of energy vampires is not always immediate. Sometimes it requires a gradual process of reducing exposure, emotionally detaching, and observing interactions without reacting. Over time, this approach preserves your mental and emotional health while allowing them to operate in their own space. The key is to prioritize your peace, focus, and personal growth over the drama they perpetuate. Ultimately, energy vampires drain life because they feed on chaos and tension, drawing your attention and vitality into their storms. Cutting them out or setting firm boundaries creates room for calm, positivity, and constructive relationships. When you release the emotional weight they impose, your mind becomes clearer, your focus sharper, and your energy available for the people, projects, and purposes that truly matter. Life flows more smoothly, challenges feel manageable, and your inner peace becomes protected, allowing you to live with intention rather than reacting to someone else's drama. Not every toxic influence is loud or dramatic. Some people are quieter but equally damaging. They are the ones who subtly prevent you from growing, evolving, or stepping into your full potential. These individuals may appear supportive on the surface, yet their words, attitudes, or behaviors quietly anchor you to mediocrity. They might discourage your dreams, question your ambitions, or make you feel guilty for prioritizing your own growth. Over time, their influence shapes your decisions, limits your vision, and keeps you from becoming the person you are capable of being. The people who stop your growth often operate under the guise of concern. They may say things like, "Be realistic," "Don't aim too high," or "Why change what's already working?" At first, their advice may seem reasonable, even caring, yet the effect of these words is insidious. They cultivate fear, self-doubt, and hesitation. Instead of inspiring you to take steps forward, they create a mental ceiling, convincing you that comfort and familiarity are safer than progress. Growth requires risk, courage, and discomfort. When someone consistently discourages these, they become an invisible barrier in your life. Another way these individuals inhibit growth is by fostering dependency. They may insist on being involved in your decisions, question your judgment, or subtly criticize your choices. This keeps you tethered to their approval, making you hesitant to act independently. Over time, your confidence erodes and you begin to doubt your own instincts. The ability to make bold decisions, take initiative, and explore new opportunities diminishes. You start to live not according to your potential, but according to the expectations, fears, or limitations imposed by others. These people also often resist change themselves. They may be stuck in their routines, afraid of risk, or unwilling to challenge their own comfort zones. While their stagnation is understandable, it becomes problematic when they project it onto you. By constantly emphasizing the safety of the familiar, They make you question whether pursuing growth is worthwhile. They may subtly shame ambition, belittle your goals, or express skepticism about your capabilities. The longer you remain in their sphere of influence, the more your vision for your own life contracts. A key indicator that someone is limiting your growth is how you feel after interacting with them. Do you leave the conversation feeling inspired and energized, or doubtful and small? Are your dreams expanded, or do they feel diminished? Growth-oriented relationships and courage shall niche and inspire. Relationships that stop growth, make you second guess, hesitate, or feel guilty for pursuing your path. Recognizing the difference is crucial for your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Cutting out these subtle inhibitors does not mean you abandon empathy or disregard their humanity. Many of these people may be well-intentioned. They might genuinely care for you and want you to avoid pain or failure. The issue is not malice, it is misalignment. Growth requires space, courage, and sometimes discomfort. If someone cannot support that process, consciously or unconsciously, it is necessary to create distance. Protecting your potential is not selfish. It is essential for fulfilling your purpose. Surrounding yourself with fulfilling your purpose, surrounding yourself with growth-oriented people is transformative. These are the individuals who inspire curiosity, encourage learning, celebrate your wins, and challenge you to stretch beyond comfort. Their energy fuels ambition, sharpens focus, and nurtures resilience. By contrast, people who inhibit growth quietly siphon your energy, redirect your focus, and dampen your enthusiasm. Over time, their presence can turn a life of potential into a life of quiet regret. Letting go of these people often requires courage and clarity. It may feel uncomfortable to distance yourself from someone you've known for years, or someone who claims to care about you. But clarity comes from understanding the long-term consequences. Staying tethered to people who stifle growth keeps you from the life you could have. Recognize that your time, energy, and ambition are finite resources. You cannot afford to invest them in relationships that prevent your evolution. Ultimately, the people who stop your growth drain life in subtle but profound ways. They limit your vision, erode your confidence, and make progress feel heavier than it should. By consciously creating boundaries or removing these influences, you reclaim your mental and emotional energy, allowing your potential to unfold fully. When you surround yourself with those who uplift, challenge, and support your journey, life becomes expansive. Challenges are met with courage. Opportunities are seized with confidence, and personal growth accelerates naturally. Growth is not selfish. It is necessary. Your life, your impact, and your purpose deserve the freedom to expand. Cutting out those who inhibit growth is not a betrayal. It is an investment in yourself. By doing so, you create a life filled with clarity, energy, and meaningful progress. When the influences around you align with